So Brian Shaw made a video in which he put in the title that he does 800 pounds dips. But couple of problems with this claim, in my opinion, is that this is not a dip, this is a machine. So you cannot compare what is happening here to dips. It's like comparing squats and leg press. This machine has obvious mechanical advantage in it. Like, if we, for example, take a simple, if you can see, like the weights are here, and here is the pivot point. So this is the lever arm of the weights, but this is the lever arm of Brian. So it looks like it's about double. So this would be a 1 to 2 pulley comparable to 1 to 2 pulley. And also, if you look at what he does, like the weights are never, like the weights are pointing downward. So the real lever arm is this, and real lever arm for Brian is this, because it's the parallel to the floor, since the gravity here is the one causing these to produce force down. So this could also be a 1 to 4 pulley. So you would divide this with 4. So, but to make this even simpler, like, I think Brian adds, like here when he is doing this movement, he at the one point he does put the dumbbell between his legs. But to make this simple, since the machine cannot lift Brian off the floor, let's look at it. Like it little bit can lift him up, but not a lot. So it means that this is less impressive than doing bodyweight dips, because the force from the weights, which happens here, which Brian experiences, has less up force, has left less force upward to Brian than what is required to lift Brian off the floor. That means that what he is doing, is less impressive than doing bodyweight dips, because in the bodyweight dips, you are producing a downforce which can lift you up. But here Brian does not produce a downforce which is able to lift himself up, because he doesn't lift up. And let's see the one where he puts the even bigger, more weights, and he puts this dumbbell. I think so. I'm not sure what dumbbell there is, but anyways, to make it simple, this also is less impressive than if he would go to a dip machine and do dips with this added dumbbell, because again, the machine cannot lift him up. It means that the force from in this setup has less up force than what is required to lift Brian and the dumbbell. But if he would go to do dips, he would have to exert downforce greater than the added weight and his body weight. So if he just would go do dips with this dumbbell, it would be more impressive than what is happening here. Because this machine cannot lift him up with the added dumbbell. So it's not 800-pound dips. It's more, it's whatever Brian saw weighs, added this, added Brian Shaw's mass, added this mass, and then what is happening, let's call it X. This plus this is X. What is happening here is less impressive. It's less than what he would, what would, it would be more impressive if he would do dips with this dumbbell than what here. Obviously, it is you are using a lot of weight and it looks like you are doing great things, but the simple matter is that this weight cannot lift Brian off the floor with the dumbbell. So it is less, it's producing less up force. It requires Brian less downforce production than what would be required if you would just do dips with this dumbbell. So it's like comparing squats to leg press. So everybody can understand that comparing to squats to, like if Brian would do video in which he like do leg press and then put on the title that what he did in a leg press was what he did on squats, everybody would understand that that makes no sense. And hence this makes no sense to claim that he did dips in this video with this weight. It's like saying that you use 4-to-1 pulley, and obviously then you can use weights which are 4 times as great as if it would be 1-to-1 pulley, and then you would put on the title that you did the weight like just I did side pressure with the weight that is 4 times as high as what you could do on a 1-to-1 pulley. Like it would be pretty dishonest. And not only that, but obviously it's a different movement. Even if you would be using cable machine, at least you are doing the same machine with, and then you could in some argument claim that you are doing it with that weight. But you are not, Brian is not even doing the same movement. It's not even the same machine. It's not a dip machine. Or maybe it is a dip machine, but it's not a dip. It's not the normal dip is just 2 parallel bars where you're using your body weight. Here, this is not the case. You are using a stack, which in this case is weights added. But anyways, it could be just a stack where you have a pin. Anyway, I thought it was a little hilarious that people were like, oh my god, Brian Shaw does 800 pounds dips and Levan does bodyweight dips, and Levan is like something like 170 kilos, so it would be this much in pounds. If Levan does bodyweight dips, it would be this many pounds, and it would be 170 kilos. But if we consider that this machine might be a 4-to-1 pulley, you would have to divide this by 4, in which case I guess it's 200. Yeah, it's 200 pounds, which in kilos is 90 kilos. So I wouldn't call that Brian is intimidating anybody with what happened here. Sure, it looks impressive and he gets a nice video out of it, but not nothing impressive. Like, for sure, I couldn't do this, but we are comparing him to Levon. Let's be honest. We are comparing him to Levon, not to me. So, sure, he could. It is impressive, but not when we consider that we are talking about the best of the best and world records, and if the conversation is in that realm, you know. Like, let's consider that Richard Lupkes does also this, like these. And what do we have here? One, two, three, four, five, six 45-pound plates plus his own body weight. Is it one? I think it's 100. 120 kilos added weight plus his body weight. See, so this is, I haven't seen an arm wrestler do bigger dips than this. And don't get me wrong, Lupkas was a good arm wrestler, but Brian Shaw maybe should do something like this. Then it would be impressive. But what happened? What happened here wasn't what is happening here. So that's all.